What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Nick at Night. We have a large stack of books from this past week. Picked up a few more things that I did not show off in my Wednesday haul video, but let's talk about our books from this week. All right, guys, welcome back. So we did get a few extra books that I did not show you in the haul, so we'll just work through them as we go through them. So let's start off with the big two. As we normally do, I actually got a few more books, like I said. So we will start with DC with the Joker, number 3. I went ahead and got that cool variant cover. It's got the Joker on it. It's got that playing card look. It's full of blood. It's full of just like a wrinkled Joker card. It's pretty cool. He's got a black eye, evil smile. That's a really, really cool cover. I really enjoy that. So the Joker 3 was really, really an interesting book. It has a lot of flashback. Again, each issue seems to have some flashback to the Killing Joke. And this one is no exception. It has a lot of flashbacks, some additional context of just the trauma that Jim is going through during the Killing Joke. And so if you wanted to get kind of more of that in this issue, you got it. So art is right on point. I believe this was done by, Gilliam March. So the art is just incredible. I'll show you just the very first page right here. Great coloring, great art. It's really, really good. So does it progress the story? It does. So Jim is trying to make his decision on whether or not he's going to kind of find some closure with the Joker. He's given it an opportunity to kind of get some closure. He's traveling out to kind of hunt the Joker down. Doesn't quite know where he is, so he's trying to rely on some of the locals to help him out. And so this is kind of a situation where it's a be careful what you wish for kind of a thing. So we get a little backstory about the Arkham gas attack. You know, did the Joker do it? Did he not? Everyone thinks he did, so they're hunting the Joker down. So Jim might not be the only person trying to find Joker. So we leave this issue with Jim in a very unfortunate circumstance. And so he's kind of an unlikely, an unexpected team up, I should say. So I really, really enjoyed the Joker number 3. Cannot wait to see what else happens in the story. There are some backup stories in here, which I didn't read, honestly. So, you know, I'm not too crazy about Punchline or what's going on, so I can really care less. But anyway, maybe I'll read it again one day. But Joker 3 was really good. I always liked that book. All right, let's go on to the next DC book. This is Future State Gotham number 1. I thought we were done with Future State, but here's yet another Future State book. This one was really interesting. It's in black and white, which was kind of cool. A nice little change. And I got that B cover too. And I had no idea that it has like foreshadowing involved here. So, yeah, this issue was not bad. It's kind of following up with Jason. What is he up to? Is he like a double agent? What's going on? He's kind of teamed up with the Peacekeepers. Trying to hunt down Batman or the new Batman, and not a whole lot happens in the issue, honestly, but we get some Bat Family action in here. We do get a lot of cool art. It's kind of like sketchy. It kind of reminds me of like a charcoal art style. I'll kind of flash a page here. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on, but if you know what I mean, like a charcoal style. Lots of shading. Lots of kind of grittiness in here, and so it was an interesting story. But we get an appearance of the Bat Family. Jason's running around. Is he a double agent? Who knows? I'm not sure. What'd you guys think of Gotham 1? I was kind of on the fence. I was kind of like, I'm glad I read it, but who cares? I don't know. Maybe I'm too critical. Who knows? All right, so we have Batman the Detective number 2. So this one's by Tom Taylor. I actually really enjoy the Detective. I really like the first issue. Basically the premise is, Batman saved so many people over his time as Batman. So what better way to kind of undo his legacy by tracking down the people that he's actually saved and then killing them? It kind of like undoes all the work that he's kind of put in over the years, right? So there's an agency out there. They somehow have this information. They are tracking down the survivors and they are trying to wipe them out. Batman is on the case, trying to figure out who these people are, how they're doing this. So it's pretty interesting. So it's got him going overseas, trying to take out trying to get some more information. He kind of, he gets reunited with some old people he used to train with. This one manhunter. It's really, really interesting altercations. And yeah, I actually really, really like this issue. We have an interesting cast of villains right now. They kind of dress up like Batman, but like in reverse colors, kind of. So they're all in white and they have the bat symbol. And so these folks mean business and they are lethal. So yeah, we'll see what happens in Batman the Detective. I actually really enjoyed this issue. And then of course we get our little Yara Flora Wonder Girl #1. I'm excited for that book. Yeah. So, The Detective. I actually enjoyed this one. All right. Moving on to Marvel. That was it for DC. Just got those 3 books. Well, that's not entirely true. I'm only about a quarter way through this book right here, the Festival of Heroes. It's just an extra long issue, and I'm not all the way through it. If I can finish it before next week, I'll let you know what I thought. All right, moving on to Marvel. We have just 2 Marvel books. Hey, it's better than 1, which is what I think I've been getting lately. But this is Heroes Reborn #2. I actually really like Heroes Reborn. This was less focused on Blade and the mysteries of the world. This is more about Hyperion, him going around killing stuff. I mean, some of the scenes here. This is just the first page, and it's not going to be spoilery at all. But I mean, he's just like overpowered, just blowing right through Galactus's head. It's pretty crazy. Jason Aaron on the story. Really interesting. So I think we're starting to get an understanding of there's perhaps more than just Blade in this universe who kind of remembers an alternate timeline. Not an alternate timeline, but an alternate way of reality. I think they're hinting at here that the Hulk was kind of aware of that as well. And he gets into a big battle and things don't go his way. So Hyperion is kind of trying to figure out what all this means. He's kind of alerted by this figure that's kind of hanging out around the school. And so he doesn't quite understand who this person is, but he knows they're powered in some way. And it turns out that our Blade character from the first issue has dug up someone that's been missing for quite a long time. So hopefully they can kind of shed some light on what's going on. But I think he's got some memory of what's kind of missing in this world too. So I think the roster of people that are more aware of what's going on is increasing in the story. And I'm going to be anxious to see how they convince the other people that something's wrong, and then who's responsible and how do you fix it. So Heroes Reborn #2, not too bad. I actually enjoyed it a lot. And one thing I noticed, so the next book is going to be Spider Shadow #2. And this paper, how many times can we talk about this? The cover is the same material as the interior paper. It feels like. Heroes Reborn is not the case. It's just a little bit thicker. And that pisses me off. We shouldn't have paper with the same exact material, because you get those ripples and everything. I'll go on a tangent. Spider Shadow #2. I like this issue more than the first issue. This issue just has more. So the first issue kind of set up the story of, yes, he's got the symbiote on him. It's turning him bad, and he doesn't quite know how to take that feeling. The second issue, he embraces it. So now he's kind of, he's off the chain right now. So he's just going around, just taking everybody on. He's being brutal. It's unexpected. So I think we've kind of set the cadence for how he's going to be acting now. So I think issue 3 will be less shocking as far as how the character's behaving. But he's just taking out everybody. I mean, it's actually pretty interesting. So I like the way that this is going right now, and we have a pretty cool little twist at the end. Another character is introduced, and it's a character that we've seen in recent runs that are not, Spider-Man. We have some another main run that's going on right now that's ending soon with this particular character. But anyway, I actually really enjoyed Heroes Reborn. Or Heroes Reborn, yeah, the previous book, Spider Shadow #2. So yeah, that one's a good one. All right, so let's get into the independent books. So we will start with Magic the Gathering, Jed MacKay. This is the second issue, and this will be my last issue. So I don't know, man. It's we have these 3 guild masters, these 3 planeswalkers. They all were attacked at the same time by some coordinated assassin group. We still don't really know who it was. They kind of go over who it could possibly be, and they have someone they're accusing, but of course they're not around to take the blame or to admit the blame. We have another random assassin attack, who they're all handled really easily. And we have a little bit of story progression. They kind of know what the main target of this attack is, or who this main target of the attack is. And they just kind of sit around and they just try to discuss who could be the person doing this. And it was kind of like a rehash of the exact same. It was like the same thing as the first issue. It was these 3 people were attacked. They tried to get a hostage. The hostage escapes or has some kind of a fail-safe, like a suicide capsule, something like that. And then they don't really know who's doing it, but they have their ideas, and then the story ends. It was like a retelling of the first issue over again. I don't know. I didn't like it. What'd you guys think? Did you read this? I don't think a lot of people did. But let me know if you did. Okay, Kanto, City Giants #2, IDW. This one was good too. It's I feel like Kanto books go really quick. They read very fast. This one picks, immediately right up from the first issue, and we had our main hero Kanto. We have the witch going into the labyrinth type thing right here. This looks just like the movie Labyrinth, and they're trying to defeat the beast at the center of the labyrinth that's been pestering the city of giants for so long. Kanto needs the city of giants, the people of the city of giants to kind of join him on his quest, and he wants to free some of his giant friends that he's found along the way, and they've tasked him with destroying this beast in order to do that. So we have Kanto going through here, and of course he's being helped by a witch, and he's probably going to get betrayed. So the end was a little bit of a cliffhanger and a little bit of mystery, so we'll see what happens in issue #3. But Kanto is always a good read. Like I always say, it's full of heart, and it's a hero's journey kind of story. So it's always an interesting read. So I would recommend Kanto, and I think there's going to be a volume 4 coming up in a couple months, if I'm not mistaken. So check that out for sure. All right, Time Before Time, #1, Image. This was kind of a sleeper, I think. It was really cool. So the basic premise here is, imagine like those people who pay a lot of money to get sent away, to get their identity changed, to start over again. We saw that at the end of Breaking Bad. You give someone $50,000, they'll get you a new ID, they'll ship you off to Alaska somewhere, and you can live there for 6 months with a new identity and everything. Well, imagine that same concept, but with time travel. So I could say, you know what, I don't want to be in 2021 anymore, because who does? I want to live back in 1987. And I can pay this company money, and they'll take me back to 1987. They'll change my name and everything. So that's what I'm gathering from what this department does. Now, the people who work at the department, our main character, for instance, it seems like he's trying to pay off some kind of a debt that he has to this company. So I think we'll get more into that, or maybe I missed a couple details, but that's the vibe. Our main character is kind of disgruntled. He does not like this gig. Him and a buddy kind of come up with a plan to steal one of the pods that can go back in time and just kind of run away, essentially. And so it doesn't quite end up that way. It doesn't work out that way. His buddy goes on kind of a one last mission before they're about to take off, and some unfortunate things happen to that particular guy. So our main character tries to kind of go and live out the plan. as he was going to, and all hell breaks loose at the end. He almost gets caught and gets kind of trapped in the timeline. And now he's kind of lost with someone he didn't expect to be lost with. So it was an interesting book, man. It was really interesting. I think the art was good. I'll give you a little shot here of the art. So I think, is it McConville who does the art in this book? Yeah, so I think the story was really interesting. No, Joe Palmer. So the art was really good. The story was intriguing. It was good enough for me to order issue 2 and 3. So, props to them. But yeah, Time Before Time. If you didn't read it, I would suggest picking it up. All right, we have Silver Coin number 2. This one's actually Kelly Thompson, still Michael Walsh on the art. First one was Chip Zdarsky. We're gonna have a different writer and probably the same artist going forward. But look at that cover. I love these covers for Silver Coin. It's pretty cool. This issue read really quick, really fast for me. So it's definitely a summer camp. We have a summer camp vibe. It's like an all-girls camp. And of course, there's one girl who's been bullied and everything. And so she is our girl that finds the silver coin. And what better way to get back at bullies than to chop them into pieces? So there's just several pages of little narration and just gruesome beheadings and things like that. Totally possessed by the silver coin. That's kind of embedded into this axe handle that she's been using. And then seriously, before you know it, the story's over and she's just, covered in horror and doesn't understand what's going on and was kind of like possessed by this. So Kelly Thompson, great story, good art, read super quick, not a whole lot of dialogue or a whole lot of things going on here, but it was an enjoyable read. It was it was filled with horror. And so yeah, if you like horror books, I think you'll enjoy this one. There's just not a whole lot of substance there besides the possession of this girl and her revenge on bullies. So I enjoyed it still. It was good. All right, a couple more books. We have Ice Cream Man number 24, The Telethon. This one was really interesting. We have a man here who's kind of living a life. He's getting sicker and sicker, and there's kind of two different stories going on. We have the man who's not really quite fulfilled in his life, and then we have this telethon who's kind of narrating his life. And so no one seems to be donating any money to help save him. And so as a result of that, he's losing weight rapidly. His hair's falling out. He's getting a divorce, and his ex-wife is kind of making fun of him the whole time. And he's like I believe he was even an addict, and he loses his job. And then all these people, no one's going to give this guy a break, because no one's giving him a break. He's slowly like deteriorating. And so, it's really funny. I'm sure there's lots of metaphors and lots of crossovers that you can imagine when you're reading this book. But yeah, I mean, Ice Cream Man does what this issue Ice Cream Man does, what every issue of Ice Cream Man does, which is basically makes you think, and it's executed really well in a really creepy, horrific way. And we have our Ice Cream Man as the telethon worker right here, up here in the corner, and he's just super cool. Yeah, I like this one, Ice Cream Man 24. It does what every issue of Ice Cream Man does. And then the last but not least, we have another book from Image. We have Geiger, number 2. So this issue dives more into the surrounding areas of our main character. We get a little bit of we get a little bit of insight about his origin, just a few pages. And it almost has that like 9-panel grid style in the beginning, almost. But then it kind of flashes back to, what's going on in Las Vegas. Some of the characters in there, some of the people who rule that land. We find out that there's like a New York city as well. And so this book was good at building the world around our main character. We didn't really get a whole lot about him, but we got some of the motivations and what's going on in the outside world So we got a few new characters we were introduced to, a couple new people that we're probably going to see more of in the future issues that are going to be teaming up with our main character. And we get a little bit of motivation about what the main antagonist is after. And he is after a possession of his. So it's interesting. It was a good issue. It was just not too focused on our main character. And in the back of the issue, we get some x-rays and some additional backstory about our character too. So it doesn't really progress our main character story, but it adds a few more ancillary characters and helps build the world around our main character a little bit more too. So not a bad issue. It was kind of expected after the first issue. So we'll see what issue 3 brings. But yeah, that's what I read. It's a little bit more than usual. And I think I have 1 or 2 more books that I need to finish. Like I said, Festival of Heroes, I might finish that one up for next week's review. But yeah, which one was your favorite from the past week? Yeah, going back through them, I think this one was probably one of my favorites, Time Before Time. I'm going to be skipping on Magic the Gathering from now on. Spider-Man Shadow has horrible page quality. Heroes Reborn was a nice, was nice and surprising. I really enjoyed that one. Batman the Detective was also good. Gotham I'm probably going to be skipping on, and Joker's always a fun read. And we'll see what happens to Jim in the next issue. So guys, that's what I read. That's what I think. What'd you guys read? Put it in the comments below. And while you're down there, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and ding, ding, ding that notification bell. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the comments.